Guys, welcome back to another episode of Vigor Warrior 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are on your purpose, doing well. I want to do one more on this one. The idea that, and some people have brought this up, the idea when you look at males and females, for instance, the idea is that males really are the givers. And this is something that I think we need to discuss a little bit, because a lot of times males have kind of boxed themselves into their own cage and not realized it, and especially a lot of our younger generations. So I'm going to kind of talk about this a little bit in this video, that men really are the givers, and we need to understand that and how that works and the power we have within ourselves to kind of control that through our retention and through things that we're doing, our self-control and celibacy, things like that. So first, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and thanks for all donations again. I appreciate you guys a great deal, and I'm hoping this helps. All right, so when we talk about this, the idea that men are givers, this is because we have the power, because of our testosterone, because of our seed, to be able to help start the process of giving birth and life. And because of that, we become really strong in the idea of giving. So we're giving someone our energy. And this is something that I think we've lost in the whole discussion here, is that men really are the givers. And the way we have it set up, the females are the takers, as far as we're giving to the females. And we have to then realize that. And so both ends of the situation here is that, you know, in the current dating situation we have out there, we have too many people boxed in corners. We have the males who are boxed in their own cage because they're basically trying to give and give and give, and all of a sudden they're losing energy. And for what cause? They're really not having children, and all the focus is on the physical manifestation of this, right? And females who are also, especially in their 20s, and then they find out in their 30s and 40s, they're struggling to find any sort of meaningful type long-term relationships, because they've all had high body counts when they were younger. And the males and females go through the situation where it's almost like we forget these roles. And a lot of times the females are, because of the males forgetting this role of a giver and not having that role, then females are taking some of those roles, and the whole situation gets really convoluted. But the bottom line, guys, is that males really are the givers. Males are the ones expected, going back to thousands of years, going back to being the protector, being the provider. Those are the giving types of things. Now, because you're caught up with, now I'm not talking about the 1% club here, I'm talking more outside the 1% club. Those 99% people, they're caught up into the cage, right? They're caught up in this whole idea of, you know, not having freedom because they're caught with these vicious temptations. I don't care if it's sex or gambling or any sort of eating habits, things like this. This is always an addiction that causes the person to be stuck in their own cage. They can't control it, and so now they're being controlled by it instead of being controlled. And so the whole idea is that you have to have discipline when you're giving. You choose when you give. And those things become really important. And so when you're choosing to be that giver. And so discipline to get away from all these people who've been caging you up. And I'm talking about things like sex and addiction, these things. Those type of things are caging you up, and those are the things controlling you. And because of that control, now you're focusing on trying to get away from the cage. And you have to continue focusing on getting away from the cage. And now once you have that discipline, now you have freedom. So instead of having, you know, you're being lazy and having all kinds of addictions and those things and being your worst enemy, now you have freedom, right? You have honor, responsibility. You can do things now because you're not thinking about this cage you're in all the time. And this becomes a cage, whether you know or not, that gets stronger around you. Gambling addictions, sex addictions, all these things have the same kind of powerful message. And that's why you have to realize that even though we are the givers, we have to be responsible and show responsibility for that giving. Not to give it to anybody that comes along, but to be able to be celibate enough to say, okay, I'm going to wait until the person that I'm with really is deserving of this. And if you're a female, I say the same thing. And females, same celibacy thing. I'm not going to change between males and females here. You know, and I'm not a female, but we talk about biblical time, we talk about things like this. Women should also have the same sort of retention and things that males have. And that you need to kind of, you know, save yourself. And I know this is old school, guys, but save yourself so that you're not losing energy yourself. Because you do get energy during the month as well. Now, you may not have as much energy as males because of things that happen during the month and the period and things like that happen. And you lose energy, and then you gain it back again. But you have energy as well. You have feminine energy and masculine energy. And those cannot be lost because people are sleeping around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're losing their energy, males and females together. So that's why I say that it's very important to adhere to this idea. But remember that the males are the givers, and the females are the ones taking, especially when it comes to having children. Then the female takes over and basically goes ahead and develops that child. But guys, we go back and look at this, and we've gotten these roles mixed up. And don't forget the power you have with that. Don't be just giving it to any person you run into. Make a decision to focus on a person who's worthy of that. And from a female standpoint, focus on a male that's worthy of it as well. And both people will find a lot more happiness and success with that. Guys, you know, I know this is a crazy thing in society with all the images and things we have that's bombarding us. But life is not just about having intercourse. There's so many great things in life. And the problem is I learned the hard way that's the case. There's so many good things in life that you want to focus on the positive things. All right, so enough of this one, my friend. I'm going to be short this time. Until next time, battle on.